Hey there, I'm Shannon, and right now is my favorite time of the year because it's almost Halloween! So if you guys didn't know, Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday of all time, and it's mostly because of the decorations. I seriously love going out and looking at all of my neighbors' Halloween decorations. I love decorating myself, although I haven't decorated this year. But regardless, I just love looking at all the jack-o'-lanterns, all the ghosts, all the creepy, scary things, scarecrows, everything everyone puts in their yard. Recently, I've been admiring all of my neighbors, all of my family members, all of their decorations, and it made me think of a story that I have never told you guys that I really want to tell you guys today. So this story actually doesn't have to do with Halloween. It has to do with Christmas, but it does have to do with decorations. So this was like forever ago. I must have been like 15, 16 years old. I think I was probably like 16, and I was out with my friends looking at Christmas lights. So some of my friends used to live in this super, like, I don't know, ritzy millionaire mansion type of neighborhood where every single house was giant, it was beautiful, and everyone decorated. It was like their pride and joy. So every single house had tons of Christmas lights on it. It was incredible, and we decided to go from house to house looking at them. So these yards were like fucking massive. Like there were lights everywhere. Some of these houses even had displays that were like, you would play music in your car on a certain radio station and the lights would match up with like what the music was doing. Just crazy shit that, like, why would anyone have this? Like, you have too much money for your own good type of thing. And so we were going into these people's yards without telling them, and we were taking pictures with all of their lights because they were just fantastic and we wanted to take pictures with them. So we're driving in our car house to house, literally stopping every house, just hoping that no one comes outside, because if they did, we would be screwed. Because like I said, these are like super huge, like expensive mansions, and I'm sure they have security, and I'm sure these people would have no problem calling the police on us if they saw us in their yard. So we're sneaking in, we're going into the bigger houses, bigger and bigger, getting more ambitious, getting more bold. We're sneaking into their yards and fucking taking pictures of ourselves doing this just so we could put them on Facebook or whatever. I don't know what the plan was, but we were taking pictures of ourselves with all of these people's Christmas lights. After a little while of this, there comes a point where we decide that this isn't fun enough. Like, this isn't crazy enough. I guess trespassing is just, it's not cutting it for us. We need something more to make our blood boil. So that being said, one of my friends has the most brilliant idea that I have ever heard. We're sitting in the car and we're like, how do we up the ante? How do we make these pictures better? How do we make this more extreme? One of our friends turns to us in a circle in the car, we're all talking, and she says, I have an idea. Why don't we moon the camera while we're in these people's yards standing in front of their Christmas decorations? And you guys are probably thinking, wow, that's a terrible idea. I'm sure you said no to that, right, Shannon? I didn't say no. In fact, I didn't even say maybe. Do you want to know what I said? Hell yes, that is the best idea I have ever heard. Let's absolutely do this. 100%. Pulling our pants down in random people's houses and taking pictures of us doing it. Nothing could go wrong there. So there were like 5 of us there, 5 of us. And out of the 5 of us, only 2 of us were actually brave enough to literally remove our pants in the yards of these rich people for a photograph. Only 2 of us. Can you guess who happened to be one of the 2? Yes, okay, I was not the brightest. I was not the brightest. Honestly, I didn't do that many bad things when I was a teenager. I'm still a teenager, but as a teenager, I have not done very many crazy things. I have not done very many illegal things. This was one of the first and one of the weirdest. So we drove up to the next house. We kind of moseyed on into their yard really slowly, cautiously, making sure they didn't see us. We scooted right on up to the very front of all of the beautiful lights, the giant displays, and what did? We fucking pulled our pants down in the middle of these millionaires' yards. This went on for about 4 or 5 houses. Me and my friend mooned the camera successfully. Every single house. Pants down, ass out. It was 100% all in mooning. There was no like a little crack at the top. No, this was pants completely down. You could see the entire moon. So after about 4 or 5 houses, like I said, we got in our car and we were gonna drive to the other side of the neighborhood because we had literally completely exhausted every single house on that half of the neighborhood. We got in and we're driving away. We're driving, we're having a good old time, and all of a sudden, what do we fucking hear? Sirens. Fucking sirens. And you know, not nice sirens, if there's such a thing as nice sirens. Police sirens. We were getting pulled over. We were getting pulled over. We heard the sirens, we saw the blue and red flashing. We knew we were absolutely fucked at this point because we were trespassing, we were getting naked in public, we were, I don't even know, we weren't drunk, thank fucking God, but that was about the only right thing we did that day. The police pulls us over and we try to act somewhat natural because we're freaking out, like there's nothing we can do besides act sort of natural and try to dig ourselves out of this fucking massive hole that we dug. The cop comes up to the car and this is the worst possible thing he could have ever done. He looks at my friend who is in the driver's seat and says, "Do you know why I pulled you over, young lady?" And I was like, oh no, oh God. He couldn't have said literally anything else because at this point now we have to explain to the police officer what we did wrong, which we all know in the car we're fucked. But to have to explain to a police officer that we've been taking our pants off in front of these expensive houses just to get a Facebook picture is so humiliating, so embarrassing. We knew we fucked up, but to have to tell a police officer that we knew we fucked up, that's next level. My friend, luckily for us, you'll find out in a second why this is luckily. My friend luckily turns to the police officer and says, "No sir, honestly, I'm not really sure why you pulled us over." And I'm so thankful for her. I'm so glad it was her and not me, because had it been me, I would have just said, "Fuck, officer, you know what? I know I've been taking my pants off in public too much. I need to stop with that bullshit. Please don't arrest me. Please don't ruin my future. I have so much going for me." But no, it was her, luckily. And she said that she didn't know why we got pulled over. But then it gets worse. The police officer makes us roll down the back seat window of the seat that I am sitting in, and then he comes to that window. After he comes over, he looks me. I am the most transparent person on the planet. I cannot hide anything. I cannot lie. I cannot do anything to hide anything. He comes over, looks me dead in the eye, and asks me why we got pulled over. In this moment, my brain exploded. Literally, it melted. I felt it come out of my ears and seep out of my nose. I lost control of my thoughts. And so I did the only thing I could think to do and follow suit with my friend in the front seat and tell him I honestly had no idea why we got pulled over. I had no idea. It wasn't the public nudity. It wasn't trespassing. I don't know. I just said I didn't know why we got pulled over. I had no idea. I have no idea, officer. I don't know. Why did we get pulled over? He stands there for quite some time, like way too long. You know, I don't know if you've ever been pulled over, but I swear to God, police stand there as long as they can just to make you reflect on every bad thing you've ever done in your life. Remember that fucking candy bar you stole when you were 4 years old? Yeah, you're reflecting on that right now because the police officer is standing outside of your car and he's not doing anything but standing there for long, prolonged periods of time. After minutes, which felt like hours, but after minutes of this, he comes back to the driver's seat window where my friend is still sitting, and he finally tells us why he pulled us over. I'm sorry to inform you, but you ran the stop sign back there. Ran the stop sign? Are you kidding me? That was all we did, was we missed a stop sign in the neighborhood. The only reason we got pulled over was because we didn't make a complete and full stop at a stop sign a couple minutes back. All we did was miss a stop sign. At least that's all he thought we did. All the police officer thought we did was miss a stop sign, and he let us go with a warning. I am not exaggerating. This cop pulled us over seconds after we had just literally mooned the entire neighborhood in front of these houses. Seconds. He missed our bare asses by seconds. Honestly, I don't even know what would have happened to me that day had he caught us doing that, had he caught us literally fucking pulling our pants down in random people's yards. I have a very strong feeling we would have been arrested for public nudity, and to this day, that is the reason I believe in God. Not really, but if I did, that would be the reason, because he somehow did not see us. So yeah, that is the story of how I almost got arrested for public nudity and how I almost ruined my entire life mooning my friends for a Facebook picture. I'm sure a lot of you guys have stories similar to this in your life. Everyone does stupid shit at some point. That was one of the stupid things that I have done. If you have ever done anything similar to this or almost gotten caught for something really bad that you did, let me know in the comment section. I'll be reading through your stories and I'll be replying to as many as I can throughout the day. I haven't done a story time video in so long, and so many of you guys have been requesting for me to bring them back, and I have literally like a fucking notebook filled out with new story time ideas. So if you really like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more story times, give it a thumbs up. If you like this type of the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy my content, make sure you subscribe. Other than that, I love you guys so much. I will see you in my next video. Don't get arrested. Stay pretty kitties. And I will see you next time. Bye.
Every time you hold my hand, I begin to understand that I don't want to leave. 'Cause I sure